Hi, happy Friday. It's Friday and I have a reading for you. I already got the cards on the table and I actually videotaped that process again. I think I did that once before. So I'm going to insert that video in a moment. You will see that in fast speed, me getting all the cards out. And then when that's done playing, we'll come back and I'll talk about the reading that came out for you. So I'll go ahead and cut to that process of getting the cards out now and I'll meet you back here. Welcome back. So yeah, I want to say if this reading is for you, you will know it because you have a divine calling and you're aware of that. And yet there might be some things that are standing in the way of you stepping fully into that, or there's a way that you know you're being called to shift that process. Okay, so you'll get a feeling for what I mean as I kind of get things going here. I forgot to light this, so let me get this lit first. There we go. I already said my prayers and cleared this space. Okay, so what we have as underlying energy is really powerful and made me so happy to see come out. So we have, I'm just going to put these out here, the King of Pentacles, the Golden Palace, and you are a messenger. You can't really see it, but it says you are a messenger, step up and step out. And so these two both speak to abundance. It speaks to the potential for a season that is going to be prosperous for you in whatever ways you can imagine. So that Pentacles, the King of Pentacles, Pentacles is literally money, but it is also anything that money represents. So it can mean in your work. It can mean in your tangible assets. To me, this is the King of Abundance, in other words. It's abundance in all material ways. And then the Golden Palace is also, from another deck, another way of indicating prosperity, abundance. But the message that I'm also getting from these cards, and that is specifically detailed in this card, is that it's not just like material abundance. This is also about recognizing that there are aspects of our abundance that come from inside and that have to do with the ways in which we feel ready to step up and shine our full selves, because that's what allows manifestation to occur, that creates more abundance. And so it's really cool to me that you are a messenger, step up and step out came out. So that lays the foundation for this reading. I do want to say that right underneath the Golden Palace card is the Goblins card. So I just want to sort of like highlight that because I think that what I see getting in the way here, in the past at least, are internal goblins. That might be something that has made it hard to step up into a new season of your work in a bigger way, in a way that you've always envisioned. Maybe some of this mind chatter, self-chatter, negative self-talk has been getting in the way. And so because the first card that I have out on the table beyond the underlying energy is the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands is obviously queen. She's royalty. She's, you know, when you have the King of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands in one reading, that's pretty awesome. But the Queen of Wands specifically is a queen that speaks to divine feminine power. She's a queen. She has her staff there. That's the wand. And the wands represent power, action, taking charge. She's an eclectic queen. She's thought to be single. She's self-sufficient. She has everything that she needs. She has her black cat. She's a little bit... you know, she might be the queen that people sort of whisper about behind their back because they don't conform. She's a non-conforming queen. And I wonder if the reading opening up with that, with the underlying energy that we talked about, is meant to encourage you to step forward in an unconventional way, to sort of unshackle you, to give yourself permission to unshackle yourself from whatever limiting, self-limiting beliefs you might have about who you need to be, how you need to show up, and all of those things, that you allow the possibilities be open and endless, and that you practice taking the gaze off of what other people think about that and step into this Queen of Wands energy of, like, I have my cat and I have my staff, I have power, I have sovereignty, I have everything I need. Because right underneath that is One Ring Circus. And that really reinforces that energy to me. This clarifies, came out to clarify the Queen of Wands. And the One Ring Circus really asks for you. When this card comes out, is asking for you to get comfortable stepping out alone, to get comfortable, because at the end of the day, it's you who has to do it. Nobody can do it for you. That's why I'm saying get comfortable with doing it alone. No, people can encourage you. People can even hold your hand up to the threshold. But when you get there, then it's you. It's you putting your face out there. It's you signing your name on the whatever, right? It's you making the trust fall. And so some of the practice that I think you're being called toward here is getting used to your power and your sovereignty, and that those qualities are what are going to be able to allow this next phase to unlock and become manifest for you. This card also speaks about boundaries. So in order to create that for yourself, you may need to set boundaries in whatever ways that makes sense to you. Right next to that, then, I have the Seven of Pentacles. And this card signifies hard work. There are 10 pentacles total, and he's already created 7. So he's well on his way toward, amazing abundance. And so he's put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears in. He's put a lot of time and effort in. And yet, what came underneath that is metamorphosis. And so what this tells me is that what it is that you have been investing in might require some shifting, or you may be thinking about making some changes that are important for you. Maybe there are changes that will allow you to really be more in alignment with, this unconventional, authentic side of you. And maybe this way of doing things has felt confining. You'll know that this reading is for you if you have been entertaining the thought that there are some changes you want to make, or if you are sitting in the energy of feeling a little confined, because the metamorphosis underneath the Eight of Pentacles is suggesting that's where things are for the person who this reading belongs to. Interestingly as well, 5, 6, 7, 8, 5, 6, 7. So yeah, this is a 7 card and this is an 8 card. So it feels as though there's progress being made here, that the metamorphosis process is a step forward. It is something that will allow for forward momentum to be created toward the direction that you want to move, which makes beautiful sense because right after that comes the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune is what manifests out of that momentum. It means that a new chapter is ending, a new chapter is beginning. This is a major arcana card. This signifies a major chapter of your life, a major happening in your life. And specifically because it's the Wheel of Fortune, it's a major happening in your life that has to do with significant change. The end of an old you, or the end of an old way of doing things, and a brand new season or chapter for you, which is kind of what we've been speaking about. And then I have this cleaning house card, which is so funny and interesting looking. There's so much to see in here. There's a lot of clutter. There's a lot of distraction. There's a lot of things that could get in the way of you being able to really focus in a laser targeted way toward what it is that you are wanting. And so this might be asking, and maybe the wheel, it shows up underneath the Wheel of Fortune. So it might be saying, hey, new chapter, new series, new season, whatever you want to call it. It's going to require that you clean house. You're going to need to figure out what stays and what goes, what's working and what's not, and really give it a lot of thought. Does this spark joy? Is this really taking me? Is this item, is this thing, is this pattern taking me into the next chapter? Or do I need to think about leaving it behind, dropping it off before I hop onto this Wheel of Fortune? Because it's not coming with me. This is also a 10 card because it's 37, 7 and 3 is 10, and that's completion, and that's what Wheel of Fortune is too. This is a 10. So you have confirmation here, one right underneath the other. It's very serendipitous, and it signifies to me, this whole reading signifies to me that whoever this reading is for is really on the cusp or already underway in terms of a metamorphosis of sorts. Right after that, I have the High Priestess and the Bone Collector. As different as you might think these two energies are, they feel very similar to me in many ways. One, the High Priestess is, I like to think of it as mystical union with the divine, embodiment of holy listening. This is a card that signifies really sanctified energy. It's feminine energy. And remember, in tarot, there's no male or female. It's all energy. So this is just simply talking about the embodiment of feminine energy. It can apply to anybody. But it's speaking about divinity, about embodying a life where you are listening very closely to how you're being led. And that may require a lot of removal of clutter. Once you hear what it is you need to hear, following through on that might require you to really step out in ways that feel a little bit different, a little bit unconventional. The Bone Collector is an archetype of somebody who over time has accumulated everything that they need. If you can see, it's almost clear if I pull back. She's got all of these things here. There's so many trinkets and different patterns and a feather and a clock, and she's older. She's been collecting everything that she needs for this chapter. She's ready. You combine these two, it's like intimately tapped into divine wisdom and everything I need in the material. We are good to go. All we need now are to make sure the heart is engaged and the action is taken. We have the other aspects in place. And even though this is the one that speaks about divine wisdom and in union with that, you can see she's all like above her head and all around here. She's also deeply tapped in. So one just speaks more to sort of like this mystical union, and this has more to do with like a physical readiness in terms of the experiences that you've accumulated that have allowed you to cultivate qualities in yourself, and maybe even just really tangible things that you've accumulated along the way, like tools of whatever kind, right? And then next to that, you have the Page of Swords and the Mountain. So it's like wielding your truth. In this new chapter, there might be tangible steps that you need to take that have to do with honoring your truth or speaking your truth. That's what this is getting at for me. And then the Mountain, it essentially just says that you have the ability to navigate around any obstacle in front of you. It's meant to empower you. It looks a little bit intimidating, but really it's like right underneath this card. So it's like, hey, in this energy that you have here with the ability to wield your sword of truth and cultivating a willingness and ability to speak about what it is that you need to say or call in with respect to that truth, that's what's going to enable you to navigate around this mountain. In fact, look, his mouth is open. He's like representing speech here. In fact, when I first saw this card and this card together, what came to mind initially to me was like this sword was used to pierce that hole into this area here where you could see that there was even a mountain to be navigated, and that mountain is not meant to be intimidating, but it is meant to allow this page to transform itself slowly over time into a more mature form, because pages are energetically young. So you have a lot of transformation. You have underlying energy that's suggesting there's a lot of abundance that is available, that this process gives you the ability to access abundance in ways that don't necessarily have to always do with money, but can include money. So think about abundance in all aspects. What would abundance look like in your career? How would you approach your calling in a way that makes you feel more abundant? Would that be fostering and cultivating more love? Would that be tapping into more and more of who you are as a person and all of your natural gifts, using more of the experiences and the knowledge that you've accumulated along the way? I mean, she looks pretty abundant to me. I mean, really, of course, the High Priestess does too, but this is a very different kind of abundance, right? Okay, so then I pulled a couple of these cards that I created myself. I like to think that I co-created this deck with the divine. So you got a card that says you are so loved and your calling is calling. It's sort of like, hey, I love you and get to work. You have everything you need. Get to work. It's, you know, it's a gentle nudge, I would say, but it's like, it's time for the wheel to turn. You can hop on. You can hop on if you feel like honoring the time. The energies support that. Even astrologically, the energies support that. So those are the cards that I already pulled out. It's a beautiful reading. I did want to get one of these and then look at the underlying that shows up with that. So let's see what we got here for the collective. Feeling or soon to be feeling very abundant, ready to hop on the Wheel of Fortune, making some significant changes, tapping into a lot of bravery. I'm surprised the Strength card didn't come out, actually. You do have an 8 out here, so I would say the Strength card is technically out on the table, even though it's not. The 8 of Pentacles is out. Order. Order. Okay. And will. Wow. So you have this eagle. Is it eagle? Falcon? It could be a falcon, could be an eagle. He looks very intimidating, very regal, very stoic. This feels like tradition to me. This feels like energy that she would oppose at some level. He's kind of looking at her like, what are you doing? Why do you have a cat right by your throne? And isn't that ridiculous? You know, this to me feels like the old way. The old way. And then underneath that, we have will. And she looks pretty willful to me. She looks playful. She's got a mask on. She's got a half moon on her head. She is, and the card is will. It's sort of like, it feels as though this is signifying you using your will to break out of whatever limiting, stagnant patterns you may have felt caught up in. This moving through a metamorphosis toward more of this energy, breaking beyond the toil. Is that the word toil? Toll? The toiling of whatever was making you feel constrained, right? This feels like that to me. Order. What's really interesting about this to me too is that there's these dark clouds in the background, and a lot of times when people try to force order upon themselves and other people, it's because of fear. It's like they've sensed something scary, their radar goes off, and they try to lock everything down. And that has a way of making the energies around them feel small and feel like they can't stretch out and shine and be big and tap fully into qualities that require freedom and expression. This would make it hard to access that. And then you have will, you have her, who's like, she's almost like giggling behind her her napkin or whatever that is. Like, yeah, I don't think I'm going to be doing that. I think I'm going to keep doing what it is that works for me, and maybe even leaning deeper into that direction. So to some degree, I feel like these two energies represent archetypes that are sort of at odds right now. It's like the old order, the old way of doing things, tradition, fear, everyone fit in the box, everyone sort of like get in the right line, keep moving along, don't ask for more than what you're given, don't make waves, don't argue, do as you're told. And then this energy comes along and is like, I'm challenging that. And you're being encouraged to continue to do that, because what it will allow you to do is transform what it is that you've been doing and expand it in ways that make you feel free and in ways that make you feel tapped into your power, so that you can fully harness and embody what it is that you are meant to do in this lifetime. Okay, so that's beautiful. And then I want to get one of these messages from Source. I could also get an angel card too. Let's see. Okay. Keep moving forward even if you're unsure of your next steps or where it might take you. Trust that you're walking the path you're meant to walk. Remember, we are walking it with you. Trust yourself more. Trust yourself more. If you're second guessing, this is saying, enough of that. Enough of that. It's time to trust. And so this is your invitation. This is your invitation to embrace that and let that happen. We can get an angel number as well. And then add one more thing and we'll wrap up this reading. So the one more thing is I did something that I've been wanting to do for a while, which is get some charms. I got a little bag to put all the charms in, and I want to grab a few charms to wrap up the reading as the very last part. There we go. All right, we got 2. 444, change, strength, and love. The angels are now surrounding you, reassuring you of their love and assistance. Don't worry, because the angels are by your side to help you now. That's beautiful, because there is change. And I was saying, even though the strength card is not out here, the strength card is an 8, and this is an 8. I was sensing that strength was going to show up in this reading, and it's calling for that here. Strength, change, and love is what you're going to need to make your way through this process and to the other side. 5577. Keep moving forward. Abundance, and happiness and spiritual awakening. This is to confirm that the upcoming changes you're about to make are right on target. Bringing abundance, again, to your body, emotions, or mind. Keep going in this direction, and you will soon see some signs of how these changes add more richness to your life and the lives of those around you. Step up. You're a messenger. You're meant to impact the people around you. This isn't just about your transformation. This is about your transformation so that you can be a more precise channel that helps people tap into the changes that they're seeking to make as well. You're an example. Okay, so let's get a charm. A few charms. Let's get a few. Wow. Okay. I got a $. I got a light bulb. I have the word love. And a starfish. I feel like if I were to combine these, it would say something about the star energy being where you're headed, love being needed to get there, as well as a really profound sense of connection with your knowing, and the abundance showing up again. Abundance must have showed up about 4 or 5 times in different ways. So there you have it. That is your reading. I hope it was helpful, and I hope you have a great weekend if you're watching this on Friday. Whenever you watch it, though, if you came across it and it resonates with you, it is for you. There are no timestamps on these readings, so take it if it fits, leave the rest, and I will see you again soon. Bye.